Ladies and gents, today was quite a big day on gold. It was a pretty significant move. We literally sent the trade this morning around 7 o'clock. You can see the entry here, and obviously the result was gold dropped 400 points. So, just to recap, NFP last Friday was over here. This was the trade on NFP, went down off the NFP, hit this area of demand in the market, and then price shifted order flow here and continued to progress higher. We're tracking the structure here. So as I've marked here on this the diagram quite beautifully, we had 3 minute propulsion of price. You've got 3 minute external structure here, and obviously 1 minute is the relatively internal lower time frame structure here. We got the terminal we got the terminal external structure point, which is 3 minute, and that's important to highlight. So you've got the external point over here, which is the terminal point, the internal 1 minute time frame over here, creating higher highs and higher lows. You've got consolidation building over here. The consolidation swept up and swept down. That's the first change of character over here, and building of relatively equal highs at the flip zone. Price then continued to break down. Obviously, this is part of phase two, the change of character. Price then pushed back on this internal leg on the internal pullback. And the external pullback, we got 1 minute structure building here, and then obviously over here we had progressive order flow building at the end of Friday to then cause a breakdown of 15-minute structure. The reason why we got the pullback on this leg is because 15-minute structure break here. So the key lesson in here is you have to track the structures as it's building at its terminal point, and also you have to note which structure, like over here, which time frame is breaking the structure here. So obviously it was the 15-minute that broke here. You've got 15-minute external structure over here. Then you've got internal 3 minute or 5 minute trend over here. And obviously Sunday when we opened, I had marked this out that it would break, and this is the phase two change of character point over here. Price literally broke over here. We got the supply zone sitting over here. We tapped into that, and then we dropped all the rest of Asia. And then we've got another 15 to 13-minute breaker structure across here. So the time is progressing quite nicely. We then shifted back. You got false change of character here. The entry was sent over here because you got 1 minute. Again, you've got the terminal structure point over here. And that word is important because it makes you understand the external structure point is not the one which gives the change of character, it's the internal point itself. So you've got the terminal point over here, you've got the 1 minute terminal structures that are building. You got 1 minute, so external break, internal break, and then you got the final shift over here, and progressive order flow and price just collapses through London session, and we got progression. It has dropped 400 pips, so there's a potential reversal here. No entries are set up yet because again, there's no change of character. We are reaching some sort of psychological and supply level over here. So in order to get the entry for the buys, I mean, it's not setting up right now, but we would need to basically see the characteristics of price, which determine if a buy is setting up. Again, no buy is setting up in place, but if it is setting up, we need to track the structure. So obviously here you've got compression of price, you've got a squeezing, shortening of the thrust. So subsequent lows, the distance between subsequent lows is getting shorter and shorter. You can see the distance getting shorter. You got building of equal lows, false change of character over here. The easy things here would be to jump into the trade straight away, but again, there's no confirmation again because there's no change of character. You do have the pre-indicators of a shift here because you've got building of internal liquidity and you've got trend line liquidity here. But again, no change of character is being built here. For example, for if we were gonna look for confirmation here, an example, if we were looking to enter on this leg, we would look for this leg to break. We would look for it to change of character over here. Price will build up, change structure again, build up this liquidity here, then it will come down over here. Right now, again, on this example, it's broken that structure point. So the new change of structure point becomes this one. If we're looking for now buys, we need to wait for this structure point to break, and then we need to wait for price to confirm itself. Otherwise, it's still bearish. So over here, part of phase two is to build that internal liquidity. It will come down over here. If we were looking for buys on this leg over here, then you would map out where the flip zone is on this leg. So you know where the flip zone is, price would come down, and when it comes down over here, it would give you that false change of character over here. Once it gives you that false change of character, then you can look for building up of liquidity over here, and then the true change of character. And again, you build up another range, and you're going to get the same price dynamics on this range with the false change of character and the true change of character, and you would enter And obviously, there's a lot of liquidity above for the buys, which are going to be counter to the main sells that are happening right now. So you've got relatively equal highs here. You've got trend line liquidity over here. You've got relatively equal highs here. Relatively equal highs here. You've got relatively equal highs here. You've got all liquidity scattered across here. And when price is then going to be mapping back over here, you're then going to be looking for again that when it comes to the flip zone over here, you're going to be looking for price to give you that false change. This is going to be your terminal external structure points over here. You track the internal legs, and once you track the internal legs over here, you're going to look for once it pushes into your supply over here at 2682, you're going to look for that change of character phase two. You might have some subsequential smart money play over here with liquidity. You're going to look for that liquidity to get swept. Again, it might make a terminal structure point here. You track it, monitor, look for the change of characters again, and then the entries will set up in play, and then you'll have the sales. But right now, no buys are in play. So I hope that was useful for you guys. Again, we sent this trade live. Structure is the key here. You have to have structure mapped out quite efficiently, otherwise you will enter incorrect trades. So that's a lesson in all of this, and obviously what mark out your terminal external point, and then go off the internal structures off your terminal point to find where it changes character.